Okay, so now we're talking about controlling the narrative, and I would agree with that, okay? I agree with it to a certain extent. But I mean, look, 50, 60 years ago, you had just, I mean, you got your news. It was very limited where you could get your news from. So I think the liberal grip on the media was worse a half a century ago, even 30 years ago, even 25 years ago, you had less 24-hour cable networks. And today, I mean, we're all a product of social media, people getting on the internet. You can generally find news anywhere you want. I mean, you can fact-check news stations. I know that it comes at a greater cost of time, and not many people are going to do that. But you can go and find whatever news you want. I don't think they have, like, the leftist media has this stranglehold on the news anymore. Mike, would you agree with that, or do you think that liberals still control, like, the mainstream the mainstream news to a point where people don't want to look anywhere else? Is Mike still with us? I think he's having trouble there too. Maddie, did you hear the question?
Yeah.
You go.
It's tough to say. I think the left certainly has a stranglehold on the mainstream media, like on TV and whatnot. However, I think most people, certainly people my age, are getting more and more information online, and I think certainly you can really get any opinion there. But I think one of the negatives, of course, to that is that people tend to only view news that confirms their bias. So there's negatives on both sides.
Okay.
But I mean, it is great that we can fact check anything, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as like the only thing I can turn to is Walter Cronkite, that hack at night. You know what I mean? I can go and look anywhere. Grant, what do you think? Do you think it's more people getting their news just generally get like a left bias, or do you?
I think that leftism, or like the socialist and progressive left, that philosophy inherently appeals to emotions, because it's all about things being fair and what people deserve.
So, like Julie said, generally just emotional argument.
Exactly. It's just very easy to appeal to somebody's emotions. Like, for me to come on and say minimum wage is bad for poor people sounds a lot worse than someone saying these people deserve a living wage. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to understand the average person is never taking the time to understand the first thing about economics.
Yeah.
If you see someone say this person deserves a living wage, I guarantee you they're probably 10 times more likely to lean towards that just based on that statement. They've never heard anything else about politics ever before. If you heard that, they would go for that over you don't deserve it. Like, we should just have a zero minimum wage. I think that's the case.